Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Brad Kilgore here with America's Best Shops. Another episode to bring as much value as we can to repair shops. And so I'm here with my good friend Laura from Activation. We determined we've been friends for, I think, about 11 years now. And we do a lot together with online marketing. We're on another show called AI Marketing Experts. And we want to kind of expand what we're doing on America's Best Shops and bring in new information on a consistent basis. So, how are you to do today, Laura?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited because I think that having this show for you allows very targeted and focused information that your audience is going to be able to hit the ground running with.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. So, at America's Best Shops, we definitely bring in the AI piece to online marketing for shops because, as we've talked about many times in the past on our YouTube channel and on our other shows, AI is not going away. So, what are practical ways, that we can bring it into the marketing realm for our repair shops? And so, we're going to just do a quick jam session on that today and show you some simple ways. Obviously, there are more advanced strategies, but some of the simple ways that you could be regaining some of the revenue that you might be losing right now due to what we call the leaky bucket. So, with that, I'm going to just pull up a screen share for just a minute, kind of walk you through this because I think this is really important. Let's see here. Can you see my screen, Laura?
Yes, I can. And I'm excited that you're starting with this because I think it's a very obviously their phones are ringing possibly while they're even listening to this or watching it. So you're going to offer up some really great solutions.
Absolutely. And so, if you, I think this really could apply to any size shop, but this particular scenario, we're going to talk about maybe the smaller independent shops, because a lot of times they are so busy, front office, back in the back in the shop, crank wrenches, whatever it is. And so, lots of times you may be spending money on marketing, on ads, whatever it is to try to get that phone to ring. But if you don't have a system in place that's going to capture the people that are trying to contact you, you're just basically throwing money away. So if you think about it, um, so many missed calls go to your competitor because a potential customer calls you and they reach a voicemail, right? They immediately call another shop because they're in crisis perhaps, or they're in a hurry. They need to get something done on their vehicle, right? And like I mentioned before, paid leads can vanish. You're spending this money perhaps for getting your phone to ring, and it's going out the door. So as you can see, Laura, I mean, these are some of the big challenges that shops are faced every day,
Absolutely.
every day. And another time is could be after hours, right? After hours inquiries. People are calling after 5, after 6, whatever it is. They're calling in the middle of the night. And if you have no mechanism, no system, no process to capture those calls or messages on your website, then again, you're losing customers while you sleep. So the solution, we feel this is the simple solution, is to have something in place. And here at America's Best Shops, we have a couple of different things that we recommend to start with. And the first two are having a voice receptionist, right? It's done with AI. We've got some really cool demos that you can hear where you see that this whenever you can set it up different ways. So if somebody in your office or yourself can't answer the call in X amount of rings, then the AI receptionist can answer it for you. Or you can just have it set to answer all the calls, or you can have it just set to answer, after hours or whatever the case may be. But it's insanely good what these AI agents sound like. They're very natural. They can be programmed to know everything about your business, your prices, your hours, your location, your services, all these different things. I know you've heard quite a few of the different AI agents before, voice agents. Laura, what was your take?
The first time that I called in, and matter of fact, we use one for our agency, but the first time, and I know you use one for yours, it was quite surprising the natural tone and language they used. I think that we have become accustomed to the very robotic sound of answer machines or other systems. So not only did it sound like a person because you could pick the voice, you can pick the speed. There's a lot of things, like you said, that you can really customize it to your location. The other thing was the fact that they would answer a lot of questions that would take a lot of time from person sitting at the front desk, such as the hours. Yes, for years we've put hours on the voice recordings or the answer machines. That's not a problem. But having that AI naturally answer what the hours are, the business hours, is there can they just show up? Is there kind of a walk-in traffic if they show up with their automobile? So I would recommend someone to reach out to you if they're curious or they kind of have some reserves about whether they could answer the questions. I would say reach out to Brad and have him demonstrate and put it through challenge it. Ask if it can tell you where to get coffee, and you'll hear how they would handle something that you would think would throw them off. But these AI agents can actually answer a question that doesn't have to do anything about the auto shop.
That's right. They actually can have a sense of humor. They can, respond to things where that's completely off base to what you do. And so it's it's pretty amazing. And they don't call in sick. They can work 24/7 and they're pretty inexpensive compared to having a real human. Doesn't necessarily replace a real human, but there's just so many avenues now where they can, text something to your customer. They can schedule appointments. I mean, it's just crazy how much they can do now. And so that's one of the big things. The other part is even if you don't get an AI voice agent to start with, because some people may be a little skeptical or afraid something might go wrong, they're not foolproof, but they're pretty darn good. But if nothing else, to fix the leaky bucket, I would get at least a professional chatbot put on your website. Again, that can communicate with people, can answer questions, can schedule appointments, can do so many different things. Because again, so many people will come to your website, and if they're in a hurry and they have no way to communicate with you quickly, they're going to leave. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm going to show one other quick example of some of the advanced chatbots that we have now that I
That's
think
what I
are,
was gonna say. If you could share what you're meaning when you're mentioning a chatbot versus an AI agent, I think that would be very helpful to your listeners and viewers.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This one, I mean, we can have basic ones, but I think that this one is really cool. So if we were to look here, do you see my screen?
So I was gonna say it's in the small screen though.
You do see my website?
I do see it, but it just is in a smaller location.
Okay. Well, I think that we can adjust that when we edit the video. The biggest thing is so many people are used to a little bubble or something in the corner where they can chat with people. Well, the latest one that we have now is literally they can call or have a video call immediately. So again, this can be something that can be controlled and hours are set. And if somebody's not available, then they can just leave a message. Um, but this is where they can literally start a chat. This is what most people are kind of used to when they think of a chatbot. They are talking to a little robot on the website. But like I say now, audio call, video call. Think about this. If you have a problem with your vehicle and you need to, it would be helpful to show that issue to the mechanic. You can now do that on a video call that's instant. So
And
you're
that wasn't always available.
no, not at all. And so you as the consumer can, as a consumer, you could you could be on your phone and you go on the website, you go, hey, hold on, I'll just turn on the video chat. And so then the mechanic on the other side has it on his phone, pulls it up, and now you're doing a video chat face to face where you can um, look and see exactly what the issue might be. So, kind of a game changer, I think.
It is. And I think that any of your viewers or listeners can kind of, like you said, if you're not really ready to go to the best, which would be having the video chat, there's different levels, there's different engagements, there's different ways you can turn it on and try it out. So it's not an all or none. Would you mind explaining just a little bit more about scheduling? Because I know that sometimes people feel they want to protect their calendar, they want to protect their schedulers. And so could you go into a little bit more as to the parameters that you could put in place regarding scheduling if someone does contact you after hours?
Yep. Like, that's a great question. So, how it could be done is a couple of different ways. And I would say that typically we set up multiple calendars, but it could be done where there's just one shop calendar. Think of it like a Google Calendar. So, you have a Google Calendar, and that's what you use to schedule everything. That's one way to do it. You could have multiple calendars where there's one for the mechanic shop, there's one for the parts shop, there's one, department. And so the AI can then, based on the conversation, can then say, okay, yep, let me look at the calendar. It looks like for brake job, we have XYZ available. Does this work for you? I mean, they literally would be like a human secretary looking at a calendar and saying, okay, these are the dates available. Does this work? And then they book it and they can even send you a confirmation or text message or whatever the case may be. So it's really robust these days of how it can actually work.
And to your point,
Right.
that eliminates a lot of typing and calling back and such. So basically, as the office or the shop is closed, your CRM, the details that you would need are already being placed in your system if you choose to have that connection. And that's one less thing that would tie up somebody's time in the morning as the shop is getting busy and people are showing up for their appointment. All of this could already be in place.
Yep. Yep. There's things that we can do for reminders, for confirmations, through text message, through email, all those types of things. So, our America's Best Shop system is very robust. But if you just need some small pieces of it, we can make that work too. There's just so many levels these days of what we can do to make your shop more profitable, make it more efficient, and stop that leaky bucket where you're losing money.
That is so true because to your point, if you miss 1 or 2 phone calls, that could be quite the volume out of your bottom line, so
Yeah.
this is a very small investment in order to keep the bucket full and to keep those appointments coming. And I think the other thing too that you kinda touched on was different audiences like to interact in different ways. Some of what they'll say the older generation still prefers to call, and obviously that's an option. And then if the younger generation prefers to interact with the chat bot or the video bot or the AI agent, all of that can be accomplished by just enhancing what they already have.
That's exactly right. You wanna meet them where they live because in this day and age, so many people, I mean, I think the younger generation for sure are much more into DMs and direct messages and texting, and I think back just a few years and 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I was appalled that somebody wanted to do business by text message. But now it's common. It's
Very
it's
common.
unbelievably normal now,
Yes.
and there's a time and a place for it, but especially, like say Laura was saying is, you know, different people are going to communicate with you different ways. Some people just want to call you on the phone, but again, if they call you on the phone and they're not getting a response, they're gonna call somebody.
And I think you're one of the few that showcase the video option. And I know when something goes wrong with my vehicle, I think I'm the only one that could explain it. I'm the only one that would be able to give them that knock 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 sound or whatever it might be. So being able to have the video, that conversation directly with someone and show them what I'm seeing, hearing, feeling, the vibration or whatever it might be as I'm going down the road. Not that we're gonna be on the phone with a video going down the road, but I'm just saying that that is very unique to what America's Best Shops offers.
That's right. That's right. And so we try to stay on the cutting edge. And so with our AI video chats, it's just the next evolution of what people can do and how it can help. Well,
Exactly.
I appreciate you jumping on, Laura. I'm looking forward to our future conversation. And, if anybody needs help, you're a shop and you're just not sure what to do, reach out, americasbestshops.com or on our socials, on YouTube, whatever it takes, reach out to us. You may talk to a real person, you may be talking on a video chat, who knows? But we will do our best to explain things clearly, show you what can work, and then if it's a fit, great. We'll do what we can to help you. So, with that, we'll close out this episode of America's Best Shops.